What does your writing ritual look like? Do you have one? This week, we are talking about what happens around writing so that you can start and end efficiently and do some really solid writing in between. Hello, if you haven't met me before, I am Dr. Denis'Thomas, and I'm so glad that you found us. Today is day 62 of our 100-day journey of writing a draft by writing 500 words a day. So today I want to invite you to think about the things that you do that set you up for writing. If you want to write really efficiently, one of the things that you can do is have a really short ritual of maybe 1 to 3 things that you always do. And as you start doing those things, it immediately is telling your brain it's time to write. You see, what you don't want to do is teach yourself to procrastinate. And we do that a lot. Maybe you think, I'm just gonna check social media just for a few minutes before I write. That could inadvertently become part of your ritual. So your ritual is, I get on and I spend 15 minutes scrolling before I write. And it will become part of how you train yourself to write. So be careful about doing anything that's procrastinating. Instead, think about other things that you could do that tell your brain it's time to write now, and that you can do in a couple of minutes or less. So for me, one of those rituals is always making coffee. I like my coffee, and I like to drink it as I am writing. It helps me to stay focused and alert, and it is just something that I have now paired with writing, and so writing and coffee go together. As I get up and I go through the ritual of making my coffee or pouring my cup of coffee, now that I have a programmable coffee maker, then that tells me that it is about time to get started writing. I also like to have a little notepad and a pen nearby. Another part of my ritual is simply opening my laptop. I know that in the mornings when I open my laptop, it is not to check email. It is not to check the latest YouTube videos. It is not to check social media. When I open my laptop, the first thing that I open is either my manuscript or my journal. And I usually have a pretty good idea before the morning starts which one it's going to be. Occasionally I switch it up because I don't feel like writing, or I'm struggling, or something has happened that I need to process, or I'm feeling stressed and I might go to my journal first on those days. I always give myself the freedom to do that, but the act of opening the journal and getting into that document tells my brain it is now time to write. What are the things that you do before you write? Do you have any procrastinating rituals that you've done? Things that you tell yourself, I'll write after I do this? If so, stop doing those today. Get rid of those. You can certainly use any of those kinds of things as a reward for after you write. And you might have a closing ritual to wrap up writing by creating a quick writing ritual. What you do is you set your body onto autopilot. There are lots of things you have on autopilot that you've paired with other things already in your life. What I'm going to ask you to do today is just to think through the things that you pair with writing. Are they helpful, or would it be better to pair something else? Whatever ritual you choose, make sure that it is very quick and that it clearly points you to get into your writing document. Those are all the criteria you need. I bet you can think of some really good ideas for your writing ritual. So already this week, we've talked about when you write, we've talked about the environment when you write, and today we're talking about how to get writing quickly. Yesterday, we talked about incorporating your senses, so you might think about how to do that with your rituals as well. So if you haven't started a writing ritual, today think of 1 to 3 things that you can do that will cue you that it is now writing time, and start pairing those with writing immediately. I'd love to know how it's going for you. Let me know in the comments below the writing rituals that work best for you.